Hi, this is Smitty with the Supercoach Hub, and you're watching the round 26 ZIG or ZAG, where I analyze the top three trade ins and outs for the week and look to see if there are any similar players that could be a better buy or sell option than the more popular players. Will you ZIG or will you ZAG? So, first of all, onto the top sells of the round. And this list is pretty dominated by the South Sydney Rabbitohs players who are on a buy this week. And the top sold player this week is Latrell Mitchell. He's 704,000. And South are on the bye, as I said, and he's also suspended for one game. So Latrell won't play again in the regular season, won't play again for Supercoach. So, and yeah, he's definitely a top sell candidate for this week. And my ZAG this week for Latrell is Clint Gutherson, and he's 710,000, and he's got a break even of 124. He's the ninth most traded out player this week for good reason, I think. They've got the Panthers this week, the Eels, so it is a tough matchup. And then they've got a bye in round 27, so Gutho has only one game left for the Supercoach season. And yeah, it's against one of the hardest, well, the hardest team to play against. He averages 60 against the Panthers as well, so not a high average. He has been averaging higher than that this year in general compared to other years for Gutho. But yeah, I just think he's a good sell candidate for this week for overall and head-to-head plays as well. Moving on to the second most traded out play this week, and that is Ruben Garrick. And he's at 629,000 with a break even of 51. And he got a back injury that he suffered last week. He is actually currently on the extended bench for Manly, which is surprising considering there were talks he fractured his back, so it seems like he won't play this week. You never know though. Yeah, they've named him on the extended bench, so it will be a watch for late mail. I think Manly play on the Sunday, which is unfortunate. We won't know for a while. But yeah, it's just looking like he will be out at the moment. If he is confirmed to be playing, Manly play the Bulldogs away this round, and then they play the Tigers at home next week. So if he's miraculously recovered and he isn't in this week, he's definitely a hold and a play both weeks. So he's one to watch for late mail, but at the moment it's looking like he will miss at least this round, and I think he's a good sell. And then my ZAG for Ruben Garrick is Alex Johnston. So he's 645,000, and his break even is irrelevant. I think South players' break evens are irrelevant at this stage because they won't play this week. They won't move up and down in cash at all, and then they have the last. We've got the last round next week, so break even doesn't really matter for South's players. He's the fourth most traded out player as well. A lot of people are getting off him. Souths have the bye, obviously. He only got a 25 last week, so he's been in a run of form lately instead of the last round. Souths have Roosters in round 27, so that could be anything that game. It's always a good one. Latrell will be out as well, so that's probably not good for Alex Johnston as well. So if you can get rid of him this week, there are plenty of centre wings to trade in for Alex Johnston. And then the third most traded out this week is Cody Walker, and he's at 592,000. With the buy obviously as well. Cody Walker hasn't been going well lately. He's got a 3-round average and a 5-round average of 57. He's got a season average of 70. So that tells us lately his form, he's in a bit of a form slump. It wasn't quite the Cody Walker that he was earlier in the season. So he's a good sell candidate for this week. He is playing the Roosters in round 27 with a high score against the Roosters of 203 a couple of years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago. And he averages 70 against the Roosters. So you could possibly hold him and play him next week. Hopefully he goes big against the Roosters, but I do think he's a good sell candidate for this week. And my ZAG for Cody Walker this week is yet another Rabbitohs player, Campbell Graham. He's at 538,000. He is the sixth most traded out player this week as well. Obviously having the bye again. He's kind of in a form slump as well, old Campbell Graham. So he's got a 3-round average and a 5-round average of 51 with a season average of 70. So just like Cody Walker, he's in a bit of a form slump at the moment, hasn't been going that well, and he'll miss this round. So pretty easy sell candidate there. And moving on to the buyers of the week. So the top most bought player this week is Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, and he's 677,000 with a break even of 30. He's coming off a 126 point score last round, and he's playing the Dragons this round at home. So really good matchup. And last time he played the Dragons, he scored 175. So he's gone huge against them last time they came together. And the Dragons actually concede more points to centre wings than any other team does. So that's definitely good for DWZ this week. DWZ, he's got an average of 73 this season and a 5-round average of 79. I think he usually averages around in the 40s. So it's crazy to see what he's doing this season. It's good to see the mullet flowing wildly. And he's got a 43 average against the Dragons. I mean, it does seem low, but as I said, his average in general this season is just way above other seasons. So I think you can ignore that average against the Dragons and just look at his averages this year to see to kind of make a better judgment of how he's going to go this round. So yeah, you see what he scored last time against the Dragons. So I think he will go big again this week. And they've also got the Dolphins away next week in the last round. So yeah, he'll be a good centre wing for this week and next week for the last Supercoach round. So good trading now, I reckon. And my ZAG for this week, for DWZ this week rather, is Chance Nickel Klukstad, and he's at 604,000 with a break even of 115, and he's the 5th most traded in player this week. And he's got a 66 average this season, but that goes a bit higher if you take away those HIA affected games. So he's averaging over 70 this season. He has a better base than DWZ, so he's a more safer play as long as he doesn't get a concussion or goes off with an HIA. So yeah, he's a more safer play than DWZ, and he can go big as well. I think he's got a score in the 140s, I believe. So yeah, he gets a lot of those try assists for the sweeping plays that fullbacks often do. So yeah, he's quite a good fullback. He's got a good base, and yeah, gets plenty of attacking stats. Can find the try line as well. And the Dragons are ranked 4th in points conceded to fullbacks as well. So yeah, it looks like CNK is up for a good one against the Dragons this week. I can't pick a winner out of these two. I mean, CNK is quite a bit cheaper, around $70,000 cheaper. So if you've got a couple of trades up your sleeve and you want money for a second trade, CNK might be the way to go. DWZ might have a higher ceiling. You might go bigger if you're looking for that play. So yeah, I think that one's team dependent on which one you go, if any of those this week. And then moving on to the second most traded in player, and that is Reece Walsh, and he's 665,000 with a break even of 29. This season, he's got an average of 76. He's got 5 scores over 100 this season. So he's just looking way better since he's moved to the Broncos. He can go big as well, 5 scores over 100. There's talk he might kick because Adam Reynolds is out of the side this week. But we've seen with Adam Reynolds out this season, Katoni Staggs has got the kicking duties. So I don't think he'll kick, just looking at what's happened in the past, but you never know. I saw on one of the podcasts this season that one of the guys was saying Reece Walsh looks electric, and I think that's just the best word to describe him. He's so fast and agile, and he can get around his man quite easily by the looks of it. He just looks so much better. He's getting better and better by the looks of it. So I think he's a good trade in this week. He can go big. It's kind of a tough matchup though against the Raiders at GIO Stadium at the Raiders' home ground. The Broncos are already guaranteed a top 4 spot, and the Raiders could miss out on the finals if they don't go well in the last 2 games. So Raiders have a lot to play for. So yeah, we could see them step up. They might even beat the Broncos this week. But yeah, in saying that, Reece Walsh is just on fire this season, and I think he can go big this week. That's a good trade in. And then my ZAG for Reece Walsh this week is Scott Drinkwater, and he's at 874,000 with a break even of 124. And he's the fourth most traded in player this week. He's the second highest averaging fullback this year behind Kalen Ponga. And he's got an 84 average. His 3-round average is 70. So he hasn't been going great lately, but still a 70 average is pretty good. And the Cowboys are playing for a top 8 spot as well. So Cowboys are playing for a spot in the finals. You think Drinky is one to step up there. Dolphins concede the most points per minute to fullbacks as well. So Cowboys playing the Dolphins this week. It's a good matchup for the fullback in Drinky. So yeah, he could go big again. He's got a lot of scores over 100, so it could be another one on the cards here. The only thing is with Drinky for overall players mainly, the Cowboys play the Panthers away next week. So I think Drinky's more a 1-week play. So great for head-to-head players. Overall players might find Drinky might not score as much next week, but could go big this week. So just something to think about there. And the third most traded in player this week is Joey Manu, and he's at 667,000, and he's got a break even of 72. So Joey Manu moves to fullback this week against the Tigers, and the Roosters are at home this week as well. And at fullback, Joey averages 94 points per game, and that's out of 8 games. So it's a good sample size there. He averages, nearly 100 at fullback. He's just a gun when he's in fullback. He gets all those tackle busts and makes so many runs. He just loves having the ball in his hand and just gets so many points in runs, line breaks, tackle busts, offloads. It's a wonder what that side would look like without Teddy there. With Manu, I think he'd be one of the best fullbacks in the game probably. But yeah, Teddy's there at the moment with that spot. And I think Manu is a good captain or vice captain option this week too, against the Tigers. Good matchup for them. Manu can obviously go big at fullback, and the dual position with Manu this week is really handy. So he's centre wing and 5'8". So there are a lot of players trading out Alex Johnston, Campbell Graham, and also people are trading out Cody Walker, who's in 5'8". So for people that don't have Manu, he's quite an easy trade in for one of those popular players that are getting traded out. And yeah, he's definitely a good shout this week. I think he'll be on for a good game. And my ZAG for Manu this week is Joseph Suaalii, and he's 631,000. He's got a break even of 17, and he's actually the 8th most traded in player this week as well. So other coaches are getting him in this week. Since he's moved to the wing this year, he's averaged 72 points per game. So he started the season a little bit slower, but he was in the centres mainly. As soon as he's moved to the wing, his points gone up to an average of 72. So that's keeper status in centre wing pretty much. He may keep the goal kicking as well over Sam Walker, who returns this week. Walker usually does kick, but this season, Suaalii has got a 78% success rate with the goal kicking against Sam Walker with 73%. So you look at those stats, and Suaalii is, the better kicker at the moment. So I believe he would hold the kicking for this game, but don't know for sure. So that one, not too sure. I expect the Roosters to put on a decent score as well against the Tigers. So that kicking, whoever has it might come in handy. And the Roosters are playing for a top 8 spot as well. So they're going to come out firing. The Roosters on their day are one of the better teams in the comp. So, with Sam Walker back, it might spark their attack a bit more as well. But I think Suaalii is definitely a good trade in for this round if you're looking to win your head-to-heads and go better for overall as well. All right, that's it. And thanks for watching. Good luck in your head-to-head grand finals if you've made any, and good luck with your trades. Cheers.